Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Boys in Blue 9320, the Desi home for all things treble winners, Manchester City. Yes, ट्रांसफर सीजन शुरू हो चुका है. बाकी क्लब्स अपने अपनी मुर्गियों के पीछे भागने लगी है, सो दैट उन्हें पकड़ के वो अपना बचा कुचा सीजन बचा ले, and they end up at a very high note. So yeah, I mean, and even though as I said कि सिटी में मेजर मूवमेंट्स नहीं दिख सकती सीनियर में, but that doesn't mean कि कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला है. There are things happening. There are wheels are in motion for maybe now or maybe in summer. So updates आ रही हैं, updates अभी भी हैं. वो क्या है? Let's begin. आज की सभा शुरू करने से पहले I would like, and it's not just me, even from everyone at Boys and Blue, we would like to extend our condolences and express our gratitude towards the king of KIPPAX, Colin Bell, as the legend says, father of Manchester City, the one who, alongside Mr. Francis Lee and Mr. Mike Samabi, have laid foundation of Manchester City, and I am very confident, and I hope that wherever he is, he sees this club and he feels proud and he feels delighted that it now turned into an abomination. It turned into a dominant power in English football. So, from all of us at Boys in Blues, a big thank you to Mr. Colin, to our king of KIPPAX, our legend, Colin Bell, for whatever he's done. So, thank you for your service and thank you for making Manchester City what it truly is. Well, let's begin. So, before I would like to talk about specific targets, पहले तो कल की प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस के बारे में जरा सी बात कर रहे थे, जहाँ पे पेप गार्डियोला से पूछा गया था अबाउट transfers, is City looking for anything, is there any incoming, or like what's happening. So, and as we all know, Guardiola has this particular quote that I'm very happy with my club, I'm very happy with my players. I think so. The reporter has asked the same thing: are you happy with your players? And he said, yeah, more than happy, more than happy. But then he said something which I would like to show around, and let's see how it goes. And I would like to know your quote on it. So yeah, Pep Guardiola says that I don't think anything is happening now on the transfer window. Maybe one. Who knows? Well, I mean, it's not rocket science that वो one किसकी बात कर रहा है. जिसकी बात कर रहा है वो है the Calvin Show. Yes, people, Kalvin Phillips. So where we are at right now on Kalvin Phillips. आज सुबह the news break हुआ, which is kind of a bigger development in Calvin Phillips' situation at City, is that Juventus have decided to end the pursuit of signing Calvin Phillips on loan. They are now preparing to back out of the negotiations, and basically it's a no-go from Juventus at this moment. Am I surprised? No, because recently Athletic के हवाले से एक quote आया था, एक खबर आई थी that Massimiliano Allegri is not convinced with whether Calvin Phillips or Pierre-Emile Højbjerg from Tottenham Hotspurs are that players that can fit into his squad for the second half of the season, that can kind of bring quality additions to the current squad and can uplift the position in Serie A and other competitions. And why I'm saying this is because this one quote by Juventus sporting director Christian Guntoli, which kind of also puts a rubber stamp on this news by Italian sources. I think so. England में Sun ने report किया है. So yeah, Juventus sporting director Cristiano Guantoli says that in this moment we do not see any opportunity on technical and financial point of view. We are not forced to sign a new player. We only look for correct opportunities, and we can't see anyone as of now. Via Fabrizio Romano. Well, this makes it very clear that Juventus is definitely looking to pull out of Calvin Phillips deal. So and do it, and not just on players' point of view, even from a financial point of view, there were distance among what City wants and what Juventus is offering for. So I think so they decided that it's best key they would probably walk out and look for other solutions for their problems. So but अभी सिर्फ 6 दिन हुए हैं विंडो खुले हुए, कुछ भी हो सकता है, बट आज की डेट में जो फीलर्स आ रहे हैं फ्रॉम ओल्ड लेडी के कैंप से कि कैल्विन फिलिप्स आप ट्यूरिन नहीं आ सकते एज ऑफ नाउ। तो क्या सब कुछ खत्म हो गया है? शायद हाँ, शायद ना। अब शायद हाँ इसीलिए बिकॉज अब हम रुक करते हैं न्यूकासल की तरफ कि न्यूकासल के एंड से कहाँ क्या क्या हलचल आ रही है। तो न्यूकासल के एंड से ये पता चल रहा है कि दे आर इंटरेस्टेड, दे आर internally discussing whether they want Calvin Phillips or not, but they haven't made any approach yet. And because they are kind of looking to shift this decision to second half of the window, जहाँ पे they'll get to know कि कौन कौन से players fit होके वापस आएंगे and whether they would need to go ahead and talk and hold talks with City to get Calvin Phillips on loan. Telegraph के end से भी अभी recently एक news आई थी that Newcastle are not willing to pay what City is asking for as a loan fee, which is £5 million. Newcastle considers is क्योंकि Newcastle के भी अपने FFP के issues चल रहे हैं, and they consider that the amount that City is asking for is quite high, and I think so they're kind of looking that if Calvin Phillips does not move till the end of the window, then they might kind of go in and take advantage of that situation, and maybe they can get him at a very lower loan fee. So, but अगर ये एक नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट भी है इस बात का, तो एक पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट भी है जो बसा है लंदन में एक क्लब के अंदर जिसका नाम है क्रिस्टल पैलेस, क्योंकि क्रिस्टल पैलेस भी इंटरेस्टेड है इन साइनिंग कैल्विन फिलिप्स, ऑल्दो दे हैव नॉट कॉन्टैक्टेड सिटी, बट द इंटरेस्ट इज कॉन्क्रीट। एथलेटिक में कंफर्म हो गया दैट क्रिस्टल पैलेस का इंटरेस्ट कॉन्क्रीट है। क्यों? Because they have already lost out on Czech Doucouré for the season due to his injury, and they are currently playing Chris Richards, who's a centre back, in his position. So Calvin Phillips, and they are 14th in the league tables, I think so, and I think so they are 5 points or 6 points above the relegation battle. So at this point, Calvin Phillips could actually help them to not fall into that battle, and maybe could kind of get him at a better position that they are right now. And even Crystal Palace के sources से भी आ रहा था कि they are looking for loan signings rather than they're looking for permanent signings. So this could actually, if this turns out into something more concrete, तो हो सकता है that Calvin Phillips could move to London, even though he prefers to go to Turin and or over any other overseas club. But I think so at this stage, if new Crystal Palace comes in and kind of initiates a contact with City to express their interest, तो हो सकता है कि this could turn out to be a blessing in disguise for Calvin. Maybe 6 महीने उसको regular game time मिल जाए. Last but not the least, PSG का interest has been completely out of question. Parisian sources से, French publication से, top English sources से आ चुका है that PSG, even ORNSTEIN has also confirmed that PSG is not at all interested in Calvin Phillips. They have never considered him, and it's a baseless rumor. Well, अब किसी के जाने की बात कर लिए, अब हम थोड़ा आने की बात कर लेते हैं कि और बट जनवरी में आने की बात नहीं, समर में आने की बात करते हैं। तो ऑर्नस्टीन, डेविड ऑर्नस्टीन, एथलेटिक के टॉप ट्रांसफर करेस्पॉन्डेंट्स, हैड डिड अ Q&A, और उसमें काफी लोगों ने अपने अपने क्लब्स को लेके सवाल पूछे। तो उसमें सिटी को लेके दो बातें सामने आई हैं, एंड both of them are based on potential incomings. One of them is that City still holds interest in signing Lucas Paqueta from West Ham. आप लोग को याद होगा कि I think so August we have already reached an agreement with West Ham to sign Lucas Paqueta who's a Brazilian superstar, for a fee of 85 million pounds. But then uh, betting investigation opened up against him, और उसकी वजह से सिटी को डील से बाहर आना पड़ा. बट इंटरेस्ट अभी भी है, बिकॉज ये सीजन लोकेस पाकेता का वन ऑफ द बेस्ट सीजन्स गया है in his career. I think so. A lot of where West Ham has been attributable to Paketa, Kudus, Bowen, and and among the other players. So interest. That's why City's interest has not died. Abhi bhi they are monitoring the situation, but they want to know the outcome of betting investigation. पहले पता चल जाए कि भाई उस पे वो मतलब चलते भट्टे में हाथ नहीं डालना चाहती है. अगर कल को उल्टा पड़ गया तो फिर दे लगे, बिकॉज एक तो वैसे भी 115 एलिगेशंस लगे हुए हैं, ये और नहीं चढ़ाना है सिटी को अपने पे. तो दे पेशेंटली वेटिंग दैट ये बेटिंग इन्वेस्टिगेशन का क्या होगा. वुड पाकेता बी बैंड if it turns true and if he found guilty, or would he leave scot free. तो and इतना दिक्कत भी नहीं है, बिकॉज जो रिलीज क्लॉज का अमाउंट है जो समर से एक्टिवेट हो सकता है वो भी 85 मिलियन ही है. तो सिटी पिछले साल भी 85 देने को तैयार थी, इस साल भी अमाउंट सेम है, तो that won't be a big of an issue. So they're kind of keeping their calm, they're kind of just looking around the situation, and जैसे डेवलपमेंट्स होती है, जैसे जैसे बाहर आएगी पब्लिक डोमेन में, वैसे वैसे हम आपको बॉयज एंड बताते रहेंगे. सो जो भी नए हैं चैनल पे, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. It will be big help for fellow blues like me and Tanmay. And if you like what you do, I'm sorry, if you like what we do, please uh, hit the like button and share with your fellow blues, share it with your fellow football fans. Let them know to join our family, to join the community. अब दूसरी जो न्यूज है वो पिछले वीडियो में भी हमने इस बारे में बात की थी, एंड डेविड ऑर्नस्टीन ने ये इस कंफर्म कर दिया है दैट मैनचेस्टर सिटी डू लाइक पेड्रो नेटो, Portuguese winger from Wolves, who is basically their prized asset right now, who has been playing for them for 4 years. And I think so. Arsenal has also been heavily linked with him, but City and there are other top clubs who are also monitoring the situation. So what does that explain? That explains that कि City एक right winger लेने के मूड में है in summer, because कुछ दिनों पहले फब्रिज़ियो रोमानो के एंड से भी एक बात सामने आई थी दैट करंटली सिटी ग्रुप में ये मूड या एक फीलिंग है या एक तरीके से एक कंसेंसस बना हुआ है दैट Savio would be a Manchester City player, and he is neither moving to Troyes nor Girona nor any other club. So that shows that I think so. Savio seems to be their first pick, but in case if someone comes up with an absurd bid that City finds it difficult to turn it down, then maybe they'll move towards Pedro Neto. But a right winger to dikh raha hai aate hue. Although both of them offer different output to the City, but still that position is seen as a very important position to fill in summer. तो एंड जरूरी भी है, बिकॉज महारेस के जाने के बाद Doku was supposed to be that replacement, but since he has been shifted to left, so position will be khali, and then we had to play either Bernardo over there or Kyle Walker over there in various games. So I think so now City really feels that they need a first choice winger over there, and right while Oscar Bob develops with passage of time. तो ये देखना इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा कि वेदर पाकेता को लेके कैसी चीजें टर्न अराउंड होती है, और उसके पहले तो जैसे मैंने कहा इन्वेस्टिगेशन का कंक्लूजन आए, रिजल्ट आए, उसके बाद शायद सिटी कुछ मूव करे, या फिर अगर फेवर में नहीं आए तो हो सकता है कि वो डेड एंड होगा. और नेटो के लिए भी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होगा देखना, बिकॉज आई थिंक सो वुल्व्स बहुत मुंह फाड़ के पैसा मांगेगी नेटो के लिए. द लास्ट टाइम जो वैल्यूएशन थी 60-65 मिलियन था, जब लास्ट समर में वो आर्सेनल से काफी लिंक था. तो अभी तो आई थिंक सो विद द परफॉर्मेंस दैट ही हैड इन द सीजन, 9 GNA in these 19 games. I think 11 games, sorry, he has missed out on 8 games. 11 games mean 9 GNA is basically is one of his best seasons. So हो सकता है, plus he has 4 years left on his contract. So हो सकता है शायद they will go out and probably go for some absurd 18-19 million. Let's see समर में क्या होता है. बट ये एक रिसेंटली ऐसी न्यूज आई है जिसके बारे में जो which has surprised me a bit, even though last year bhi you could see these links, but now I mean I leave it on you what you make out of it. Saudi calling KDB. Yes, Saudi calling KDB. So apparently news ye hai that a Division 1 club in Saudi Premier League named Al Qadsiya has decided to make Kevin De Bruyne as a top target for next season. Now वो अपने Division 1 में they are at top of the table, which is and they are like very much earmarked कि वो Saudi Pro League में खेलेंगे अगला season, and the first signing that they want to make next season is Kevin De Bruyne. अब कुछ स्पेसिफिक्स बता दूं कि अल कदसिया जो टीम है that has been owned by Saudi's biggest oil manufacturer company Aramco, जिसका अगर वैल्यूएशन ही मोर देन $2 ट्रिलियन है. डिवीजन 1 की सबसे महंगी और सबसे रिच टीम है, एंड आई थिंक सो दे हैव द फाइनेंशियल पावर टू थ्रो absurd money for that. अब what do I think? I personally don't think that Kevin De Bruyne would move to Saudi. I like ये मेरा हंच कह लो या फिर एक इंस्टिंक्ट कह लो या फिर एक एज अ फैन एक होप ही कह लो that he would sign a new deal at City, and I don't see retire, but maybe he could play for a couple of more years and then move to somewhere in US, because there are certain footballers that for me that जो पैसे को ना इतना ज्यादा ऊपर नहीं रखते हैं. Like these players consider their family and various other factors up, and not just solely focus on कि भाई पैसा ज्यादा कहाँ मिलेगा, because City में he is the highest paid player. Okay, and if for some reason जैसे एंड प्लस एक तो कोई एजेंट नहीं है केविन डे ब्रुयने का, तो ही नेगोशिएट्स with I think so he negotiates with 2 or 3 trusted lawyers regarding his contract. There was a report that came in 2021 where he kind of collected a database of his performances over the years to negotiate with City and get the best possible deal for himself. And like he has been the talisman that City has been known for, the greatest midfielder in the Premier League era as of now for City. And अगर modern day football की बात करें तो Kevin De Bruyne is right up there in the greatest midfielders this league has seen. And by the modern era I mean last 10-12 years की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. और इवन अगर हम स्टार्टिंग से बात करें जब लास्ट 30 साल में, तो ही सिट्स इन द टॉप 5 मिडफील्डर्स ऑफ दिस प्रीमियर लीग एरा. तो क्या लगता है कि जा सकता है? देखो पैसा पिछले साल भी आया था when these club when I think so not just Al Nassr, I think so Al Hilal and Al Etihad, all of them have tried their luck on De Bruyne but didn't work. But अगर ऐसा कुछ ऑफर आता है और ऐसी डीलिंग शुरू हो जाती है तो बहुत दिक्कत हो सकती है, बिकॉज उसका 1 साल बाकी है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पे. सो द डिसीजन रिगार्डिंग वेदर कितना एक्सटेंड करना है क्या नहीं, दे हैव टू टेक, बिकॉज लास्ट सीजन सिटी ने गुंडोगन में डिले किया एंड दे मिस्ड आउट ऑन हैविंग गुंडोगन फॉर दिस सीजन एंड दे मूव टू बार्सिलोना, एंड उसकी कमी इस सीजन तो साफ साफ दिखी है. केविन डे ब्रुयने को इस फैशन में मिस करना वुड बी अ बिग मिस्टेक. एंड इवन अगर आपको याद होगा लास्ट सीजन मेसी के पास भी ऐसा एक बहुत ही मल्टी मेगा ऑफर आया था, बट देन ही चोज टू मूव टू यूएस टू प्ले इन इंटर मायामी. केविन डे ब्रुयने could also do uh, chart his career on similar lines, that maybe I think so he could play for he could play for 2 more years at City, and then he could trade playing in Europe in favor of playing in US, maybe for like maybe a New York City FC or maybe into Miami or any other clubs, because like पूरी फैमिली को सऊदी शिफ्ट करना for just maybe for a year or two के big bag को लेके, I don't see that someone like Kevin does that. And also he knows for the fact that what he means to City fans, and he has been very much evident that he considers City as his home, as probably solely the European club जिसके लिए वो खेलना चाहता है. So I really hope to see कि 2025 कि beyond भी केविन डे ब्रुयने को मैं सिटी कलर्स में देखूं. And like आप ये समझो ना कि सऊदी में आज सऊदी लीग क्या चाह रहा है? सऊदी लीग ये चाहता है कि भाई वो अपने प्रोजेक्ट को एक बहुत ही ज़्यादा मैग्नानिमस और एक जाइजेंटिक फुटबॉलिंग प्रोजेक्ट प्रेजेंट करे. And for that, they're targeting players like not just Kevin De Bruyne, they are targeting like Salah, they're targeting Heung-min Son. So, and that this is their intention behind it. That they just want to sell their footballing project, which China did many years ago. So, but ये इसीलिए मेरे हिसाब से ये जो सीजन का रिजल्ट होगा कि इफ वी विन लेट्स से if we go and win fourth Premier League title in a row, which has never been done before, or we win the second Champions League, or we win both, then maybe KDB might ponder that, is there something left for him to win? Is there something left is there any challenge left for him to face in Europe? But then if he ends up with an answer that no, I probably would not be looking to continue in Europe. So I think the US is also a prominent option. So वो देखा जाएगा. That's why इस समर के बाद से केडीबी के लिए नेगोशिएशंस होगी वो बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होगी. आई डोंट थिंक सो इज मूविंग इन दिस समर, बट मे बी अगर कुछ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में हिच होता है तो नेक्स्ट जनवरी और नेक्स्ट समर, यू माइट नेवर नो. बट आई होप दैट सिटी ऑफर्स व्हाटएवर ही वांट्स and he signs this new deal, and then we continue to see him wearing City colors beyond 2025. Well, now there are a couple of more little bit news updates which I would like to share over here. So this is ye abhi recently dropped where as we are speaking that Pep Guardiola has suggested the name of Roberto De Zerbi to Manchester City as his successor beyond if whenever he decides to give up his managerial career at City. ये खबर आई है La Repubblica से, which is an Italian source. I'm not surprised because like he's been a fan of Roberto De Zerbi. Last season हमने देखा कि उसने काफी कुछ अपने गार्डियोला ने काफी कुछ अपने tactics को tweak किया based on how De Zerbi deploys it in Brighton. And अगर De Zerbi का career देखे at Premier League for Brighton, so he has managed for 66 games. He has won 31, he has lost 20, and he has drawn 15. ऑल्सो एक बात बहुत जरूरी बताना मेरे लिए कि भाई 10 मिलियन का रिलीज क्लॉज भी है जो समर में एक्टिवेट कर सकते हैं. एंड पेप का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रन्स टू 2025. सो इस सीजन सिर्फ केडीबी ही नहीं, पेप का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के लिए क्या होगा डेवलपमेंट्स वो भी मॉनिटर करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. तो इस पे हमारी नजर रहेगी कि और जैसे जैसे बातें आती जाएगी हम आपको सक्सेसर वीडियोस में बताते जाएंगे. सो अगेन stay tuned for more of such content, more of such updates about City on this channel. But RDZ के लिए मारामारी हो सकती है अगले सीजन बिकॉज क्लॉप भी 2026 में लिवरपूल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म हो रहा है. सो नेक्स्ट सीजन हो सकता है शायद RDZ के लिए जाए. अगर यूनाइटेड डिसाइड्स टू मूव अवे फ्रॉम एरिक टेन हैग तो मे बी शायद वो लोग भी नेगोशिएट एक consider कर सकते हैं for Roberto De Zerbi in the summer. So I think so he is earmarked to go for a top 6 club. बस कहाँ जाएगा वो देखना जरूरी है. So yeah, we'll be keep an eye on the situation. Lastly, I would like to talk about River Plate. Why? Because Claudio Echeverri जिसके बारे में हमने काफी बातें कर ली हैं previous episode. So latest क्या है? Latest ये है कि the contract has been signed, documents have been exchanged, and Echeverri is almost a City player now. It's just final announcement रह गई जो I guess next week तक आ जाएगा. So, but इसमें नया क्या बताने को? नया बताने को ये है कि details क्या है, fee based details क्या है. So apparently the entire operation, if every add-on and everything has been met, so it will cost City 24.5 million pounds, out of which 12.5 million pounds is paid as fixed fee. The add-ons in total are amounting to around 7.75 million, and 4.25 million का goodwill pay कर रहा है as a gesture of possibility of a long-term partnership with River Plate. And like in short words, basically एकेवेरी का गेम टाइम ही खरीदा है, बिकॉज जैसा हमने पिछले वीडियो में भी कहा था दैट एकेवेरी और रिवर प्लेट की जनता में थोड़ी भसड़ है, थोड़ी ठंड रखी है बिकॉज ऑफ हिज कमेंट्स. So I think so. This is more of like that, you know, if you have if there any more talent in your pipeline, that we might get a preference over other clubs. And why I'm saying this, because not just Ekiveri, now there's another Argentine under 17 player called Agustin Roberto, जो कि रिवर प्लेट के अंडर 20 के लिए फॉरवर्ड है. I mean to say, under 20 ke liye he plays as center forward and also a right winger. So City is also monitoring his situation. He's gonna turn 20. Uh, Apologies. He's gonna turn 18 next week, and after that he's free to move to Europe. सिर्फ सिटी ही नहीं, आर्सेनल और चेल्सी भी लिंक्ड है, and they're also monitoring his development. So, but क्या रिवर प्लेट दो यंगस्टर्स को जाने देगा ये सीजन? Maybe not. So ये देखना इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा. बट एकेवेरी, एज आई सेड, मैंने लास्ट कपल ऑफ डेज में आई हैव बीन रीडिंग डिस्कोर्स दैट कि एकेवेरी इज अ सीएफजी साइनिंग. आई डोंट बिलीव दैट. अगर किसी के लिए आप 25 मिलियन पाउंड्स पे कर रहे हो तो दैट डजंट क्वालिफाई एज अ सीएफजी साइनिंग. ये क्यों डिस्कोर्स इसलिए भी आ रहा है बिकॉज अर्जेंटाइन सोर्सेस से एक न्यूज ये आई है कि आफ्टर द लोन एंड्स एट रिवर प्लेट, Echeverry might be shipped off to CFG club Girona for 6 months. And अगर ये होता है तो उसमें बुरा कुछ नहीं है, because he's 17, who has turned 18 right now, and he has no senior team experience. So I think so this year in particular, he can get game time at River Plate and he can develop himself to play at senior level. And then if he moves to Girona to play for 6 months, then he can get well versed with the way European football works, and and he can kind of kickstart his transition into European football with those 6 months at Girona. And then if he comes back at in summer 2025 at City, then we still have 4.5 years left on his contract. And अगर आपको याद होगा कि हुलियन अल्वारेस के टाइम में भी जब वो आया था, उसके एक साल बाद we renewed his contract for another 5 years and gave him a 1 year extension. So अगर एकेवेरी का भी फर्स्ट सीजन, एकेवेरी भी अगर समर 2025 में आता है, and if he gets to play in senior team, and if he scores, and if he kind of held on to his ground and shows that glimpse कि भाई ये आगे जाके फट सकता है, so contract extension, all of that तो on the table है ही. तो इतना ज़्यादा like jumping on the conclusion करने की दरकार नहीं है रिगार्डिंग एकेवेरी की भाई मतलब आपने पहले से ही मान लिया सीएफजी, क्योंकि ये अल्वारेस के टाइम पे भी मैंने देख रखा है कि बहुत लोगों ने उसको सीएफजी साइनिंग माननी शुरू कर दी थी. तो फॉर एनी लाइक अगर किसी प्लेयर के लिए 25 मिलियन पे कर रहे हो तो वो सीएफजी साइनिंग होने की पॉसिबिलिटी बहुत कम हो जाती है. So I firmly believe that Echeverry will be a Manchester City player, maybe in summer 20, maybe in 2025 season, not in 2024. But मेरे लिए तो लग रहा है. And then as I said, Agustin Roberto पे हमारी नजर रहेगी कि whether City also snaps him in January or he survives this window and comes in next January or in summer. So yeah. तो ये थी अभी तक की updates on City. Where we have covered almost everything. We have left out a couple of youngsters, but then those are just rumors. And if there's any concrete movement on them, then we'll cover in our further episodes. So, आपकी क्या राय है on the names that I have mentioned? Phillips हो गया, Paqueta, Neto, and you're talking about Neto. Uh, like आपकी क्या opinion है on whether in terms of right wing, whether you would like to have Savio or Neto or someone else? So please comment section में बताइए. And if there anything that we want us to talk about, then again you could put it in the comment section. If you like what we do, please like the video, and As I said, अगर आप नए हो चैनल पे तो सब्सक्राइब करते जाओ. Help your fellow blues. We are just 7 subscribers away from 150. So please, जितनी जल्दी हो सके उतनी जल्दी हमें इस माइलस्टोन तक पहुंचाइए. And yeah, keep tuning to Boys Up to 9320. This is me, Sam, signing off. Come on, City till I die.